Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the Browns training camp and the ongoing quarterback battle, you know things are heating up in Cleveland. It's one of the most intriguing storylines of this NFL offseason. We're talking about a team that, just a few years ago, was trying to find its footing at the quarterback position. And now, with a roster that's stacked with talent and a coaching staff that's eager to make a splash, the future looks promising. But the question that's been swirling around the fans and analysts alike is, who will be the starting quarterback when the season kicks off? Will it be the rookie Shedeur Sanders, fresh from Colorado, or Dillon Gabriel, another young talent with a lot to prove? Or will the veterans, Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, have something to say about that? And perhaps the biggest question of all, will the Browns keep all four quarterbacks on their roster? Let's take a step back and look at this situation from all angles. The Browns, as we know, made a splash in the 2025 NFL Draft, selecting Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. Sanders, a former Colorado Buffaloes star, made waves in college football, breaking more than 100 program records over his 4 seasons. He finished 3rd in passing yards, 5th in attempts, 3rd in completions, topped in passing touchdowns, and led in quarterback rating among his peers. This guy has the talent, the arm, and the charisma to be a franchise quarterback someday. But now, in Cleveland, he's in a fierce battle for the starting role. Not far behind is Dillon Gabriel, who also has a shot to claim the job. Gabriel, a Heisman Trophy finalist, was drafted in the 3rd round and has shown flashes of brilliance during his college career at Oklahoma. The Browns clearly see potential in both rookies, and their coaching staff is giving them every chance to prove themselves during this camp. Now, the veteran landscape adds more complexity to the picture. Kenny Pickett, the Steelers' former first-round pick, has experience and leadership qualities that make him a solid contender. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco, with his extensive NFL experience, provides veteran stability and a calming presence in the locker room. The coaching staff and general manager Andrew Berry face a difficult decision. Do they carry all 4 quarterbacks? Or do they have to make a tough choice and cut one or more of these talented players? According to some NFL insiders, particularly CBS's Jonathan Jones, it's unlikely that the Browns will cut Sanders or Gabriel and place them on the practice squad. That's because if they do, any of the 31 other NFL teams could swoop in and claim these young guns, potentially stealing away future franchise quarterbacks. That's something Cleveland wants to avoid at all costs. Jones went further in his analysis, stating that if Dillon Gabriel wins the battle against Shedeur Sanders, he doesn't see Sanders going to the practice squad. Conversely, if Sanders outperforms Gabriel, then Gabriel might be the one to be waived. But what about the veterans? That's where things get really interesting. Jones suggests that the player who might be the odd man out is either Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, depending on how the competition unfolds. It's a fascinating scenario because it's rare to see a team consider keeping 4 quarterbacks on a 53-man roster, but the Browns might be in a unique position. Their general manager, Andrew Berry, has a reputation for being cautious about cutting draft picks. He's known as someone who tends to hold on to his rookies longer than most GMs would. So there's a real possibility that Cleveland keeps all 4, especially if all of them perform well in camp and preseason. And let's not forget, the Browns are in a somewhat enviable position here. They have 4 talented quarterbacks competing for the starting role, each with different strengths and potential. Sanders, as a rookie, has the upside of a future star, and his college highlights speak volumes about his arm talent and football IQ. Gabriel, with his experience and college production, is also a serious contender. The veteran presence of Pickett and Flacco adds stability and leadership, especially important during the ups and downs of a long NFL season. The coaching staff is likely watching carefully during practices and preseason games to see who can handle the pressure, who can command the huddle, and who can execute under game day conditions. The timing of all this is crucial. Rookies reported to Browns training camp on July 18, with veterans following a few days later on July 22. The first practice open to fans is scheduled for July 25, and of course, the preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers on August 8 will be a critical moment. That game will give us the first real glimpse of how these quarterbacks are shaping up. Sanders, in particular, has a lot to prove. Coming from Colorado, where he broke numerous records and finished his college career with impressive stats, over 14,000 passing yards, 134 touchdowns, and a completion rate of 71%, he's been a polarizing figure in the NFL draft. Once viewed as a potential first-round pick, Sanders' fall to the fifth round surprised many and has added an extra layer of intrigue to his journey in Cleveland. But what does all this mean for the Browns' season? Well, if Sanders or Gabriel wins the starting job, it could set a new chapter for the franchise. Both bring a youthful energy and a different style of play, Sanders with his big arm and downfield threat, Gabriel with his mobility and college experience. The Browns' offensive line, which has been improved over the past few seasons, will need to protect whoever wins the job, giving them the time to make those big throws and read the defense. The receiving corps, led by Amari Cooper, will also play a vital role in helping the quarterback settle in and find rhythm early in the season. Now, looking at the bigger picture, Cleveland's quarterback competition is more than just about who starts in Week 1. It's about building a long-term solution at the most important position in football. If Sanders impresses during camp and preseason, he could be the future face of the franchise. If Gabriel shows consistency and leadership, he might earn a shot to be the starter now and a reliable backup later. The veterans, Pickett and Flacco, serve as important mentors and insurance policies, especially if injuries strike or if rookie quarterbacks hit a rough patch. The Browns have assembled a talented and dynamic group, and this competition will ultimately determine their trajectory for the upcoming season. And let's remember, Cleveland has a rich history of developing quarterbacks. Think of past stars like Bernie Kosar, or more recently, Baker Mayfield, who brought excitement and hope to the city. The fans are eager to see their team finally find stability at the position and make a real push for the playoffs and beyond. The coaching staff, led by head coach Kevin Stefanski, has been emphasizing competition, effort, and readiness. Everyone is aware that injuries happen, and having multiple capable quarterbacks on the roster is a luxury not all teams enjoy. So, whether Sanders rises to the top and takes the reins as the starter or Gabriel proves to be the more consistent option, the Browns are in a promising position. They've built a roster that's competitive, and their quarterback situation is shaping up to be one of the most exciting battles of this NFL season. As training camp progresses, we'll be watching closely to see who separates themselves, who gains the trust of the coaching staff, and ultimately, who will lead Cleveland into what could be a very successful season. The stakes are high, but the potential is even higher. Cleveland fans have every reason to be optimistic, knowing that their team is making strategic moves at the most critical spot on the field. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this quarterback battle? Who do you think will emerge as the starter come September? Are you confident that Sanders, Gabriel, Pickett, or Flacco will lead this team to victory? Drop your thoughts, predictions, and opinions in the comments below. Your voice matters so much to us and to the future of the Browns. Remember, this is just the beginning. I'll be back soon with more updates, deeper analysis, and everything you need to stay ahead of the curve in Cleveland Browns news. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the Browns spirit alive. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Browns.